So in today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the best picks for the touring side of motorcycling. I'm going to run you down a little range from helmets, jackets, trousers, boots, gloves, and maybe a couple of base layers as well. It's going to be kind of a quick start guide on what things are out there in terms of the touring motorcycling gear, what helmets to look for, what jackets, features that you're going to get along the way. I'm going to give you just a brief overview of what you can expect from certain products that we stock. So the first thing for us to take a look at is obviously helmets. I've got the Neotech 3 and the Schuberth C5 here in front of me. On paper, they stack up quite similar to each other in terms of features, specs, and build quality. They're in the same sort of price bracket, and these are our best picks for a flip-up or modular touring-focused helmet. They've both got a nice integrated intercom system that will work seamlessly with them. They are all mesh-based systems as well, so in terms of getting those big groups together for European trips and things, helps make life a whole lot smoother. Obviously, both being modular, they are both dual homologated to be ridden in the up and the down position. Both feature sun visors, both feature really solid external venting and internal venting on the helmets themselves. Pin locks obviously are included in the box at this price, and they're both designed to be super quiet, super comfortable helmets that you can wear for hours and hours on end. So obviously they're full face equivalent to these. The Shoei is the S3, based on a very similar shell to this one. However, obviously it's just not a modular helmet. The Neotech 3, built around, and the GTF 3 is going to be the full face equivalent to this helmet. So if you're not into that modular or flip up, we'd always recommend if you're doing big trips at passport control or petrol stations where you need to stop and talk, modulars are the way to go. But if not, the full face options from these feature very similar specs and they are almost on par. Let's go take a couple of look at some jackets, and I'll show you through what are our jacket and trouser combo sets that we really like and what focuses really well for that touring market of motorcycling. So moving on to jackets, I've got two of the most popular touring focused jackets here in front of me. I've got the Richa Infinity 2 Pro and I've got the Oxford Stormland. These are both relatively new jackets. The Richa is a bit older and it's had a bit more testing and user experience, if you will. It's been through the rounds, it pays itself as a jacket, we know it works, and this is why we always recommend taking a look at the Richa gear. As a whole, the brand is really good, they make really well built things, their quality is built to last. Over on the Oxford side, the Stormland is a new one for 24 at the tail end, and it's been quite a popular jacket moving into 25, especially with the winter that we've had this year. They're both a laminated jacket, so in terms of waterproofing, they're not going to wet out. They are waterproof from the top down. Both feature internal thermal layers as well. So opening them up, you can see that the thermal one from the Oxford here, and the Richa one is the light silver one on the inside there. They are both removable, so in the event that you are heading somewhere warm, you can take both of them out. They're not essential to the jacket being used, and obviously there is no waterproof layers to have to worry about either. Both of them in terms of venting are really well equipped. The Oxford has a big front open panel with a magnetic system holding it switched back. So it's a big mesh panel that feeds direct into the front of the jacket. Obviously there is well built lips and flaps around here to stop any of the water coming in when you're in those heavy downpours. Same story on the Richa. You've got a big front zip, just up, just down. That gets you some air intake coming into it, another mesh panel behind it. Zip it back up, and you've got back into a full waterproof jacket again. So they both come in at a very similar price. The Oxford you're talking $399.99. The Richa is $349.99. They're a really well priced jacket. They're really competitive in this current touring market as well, which is nice to see. And the trousers for both of these are matching sets and they work in the exact same way. They're all laminated, plenty of venting, armour on all of them, jackets and trousers included. Elbows, shoulders are standard. Back protectors in the Richa comes included. It is a full D305 piece set. Oxford, the back protector is not included, but is available as an extra on top. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at the jackets. Don't forget that a back protector is included with some stuff and it's not with other things. You might need to pick one up at the time of purchase. These are two of our favourite jackets. We'll recommend them no end to people. They do really well every year and we've been super happy with the performance of these two so far. Let's move on. Let's go take a look at some boots next, and then we'll move on to gloves to finalise. So on the list next, we're going to take a look at some boots. Obviously there is a massive range of boots. There's a massive range of materials you can go for. If you prefer a textile, they're slightly softer. They're going to be a bit easier to wear. Leather boots are also massively popular. They do take a bit of breaking in and a bit of wearing, and they respond really well to some body heat. If you want to go with the absolute all-out top level, obviously something like the Daytona Road Stars are going to be your best focused boot you can get for touring. Anyone who's had a pair of Daytonas would tell you how well these things do. They last an absolute lifetime. They can go for 10, 15 years plus. There is servicing available for them, so you can have them resold once you've worn through bits and pieces. They're like a pair of slippers once they've been bedded in and stretched around your foot. They're a Gore-Tex waterproof boot, so obviously there's absolutely nothing getting through this. They have a super cool opening system that allows a huge amount of adjustments around the boot. So you can open up just about every panel on the top side of this boot to help you get your foot into it a bit easier. They're a well-built boot. They are big money, but they definitely serve their purpose. And in the long run of things, they don't work out so bad. Something a bit more into the general play of things, and this meets at a much nicer price point of around 170 to 180 pounds, depending on the time of the year. TCX do the Explore 4.0 boots. They are a full Gore-Tex. They move to that textile that I was talking about that's a bit softer out the box. So if you want a super soft pair of boots straight away from the get-go, the TCXs are going to be worth a look. There are a slight jump down in price as well from those Daytonas, so you're into a much more competitive category. For a Gore-Tex boot like this, they really stand out on top. One more boot I would just quickly like to cover is the Richa Vortex. These come in at a super competitive price. They're £110. They're full waterproof. They're a super soft mix of leather and textile, so you're getting kind of a best of both worlds with these. They're going to keep you dry, they're going to do the job, and they are an amazing price for the boot. Super tough, like everything I've shown you. They've got really good protection in them, big toe cups, big heel cups, plenty of anti-torsion in the sole, some ankle protections in there. Everything else has the same sort of stuff to it, but these are a really good boot for the money, incredibly competitive, and we're a big fan of these. So last but not least on the list, I'm going to take a quick look at some gloves. I've got a set of Richa Hurricanes here and a set of Held Maddox. Like the boots, they're both Gore-Tex based gloves. They are both full leather gloves as well. They offer slightly different sort of ranges. They are both Gore-Tex based in the waterproof, so in terms of that front, you're identical. The Helds are geared a little bit more towards the colder climates. They have a bit more of that thermal packing. They are going to be a little bit warmer in the long run. The Richa is designed for those guys who want that slightly thinner. You get a bit more feedback from the bike. You keep a bit more feeling on the handlebars. They are geared towards that. The only other bit with the Helds, you've got this nice little sock around the bottom. It helps create a solid seal around your wrist, stops anything blowing and breathing in. The Richa obviously has the traditional wrist Velcro strap, which can be pulled tight to achieve very similar results. So base layers are obviously quite an important part of clothing as well. That layering up aspect makes a huge difference to how you feel on the bike in terms of warmth, as well as the quick wicking, moisture wicking performance of base layers. Some of the best that we've ever had our hands on, and arguably the best in the world, is the Zero Fit base layers. We stock these here because we believe that they're a solid product. They've got a Labo material, which gives them super good quick wicking properties. They're able to pull just about all the moisture out of your body while you're riding. So whether you're hot, whether you're cold, whether you sweat a lot, or whether you just sweat a little, these are going to help to keep you warm or cold and dry. They do a couple of styles. Some of them are temperature regulating. So for those colder days, they're going to keep you warm. And in the summer, they're going to act as more of a liner that wicks up the body moisture from you. They also do their Ultimate series, which is designed as just an out and out cold weather base layer. It's going to keep you super warm, keep all that body heat into you, and it doesn't require any additional layers or anything else like that to be worn over the top of them. They're a dead cool bit of kit. We're big fans of them. They're incredibly well priced for the sort of technology that's gone into these. I'll have a link, you can read a bit more about them below, but they're a really cool bit of engineering technology, and I would definitely say they should be on a list for everyone to look at. So just wrapping things up today, these have been our sort of top picks or our most favorite picks for the 25 season of touring gear. Obviously there's a lot more that is due to come out as well, so we'll be taking a look at the further things that come out throughout the year. There's plenty more colors as well as sizes and things available in the jackets, trousers, boots and stuff that I've shown you today. Have a look on the website, we'll have all of them linked there for you. There's plenty of colors to choose from. You can order stuff into the shop if you want to pop down and have a look at some of our options. We also have plenty more touring gear that you're welcome to come in, try on, have a good look at. So we definitely recommend checking out the ones that we've shown you, but also don't write off some of the other options that we have in store. So it might be worth making a visit to us. Don't forget, drop a subscribe, leave the bell icon on. It lets you know when our new videos are coming out. We've got plenty more that are in the pipeline of things. So we're due to get some videos out pretty soon. But thanks for joining us.